But talking about the incidences which have been reported in the media, that is, I think, Kisii High School. We have the other school where a boy had a panga and wanted to chop off probably the head of the deputy principal. And I had another one there was in Baringo. I tend to think probably we may not escalate that to a national level, but we need to look at it as the situation demands. Maybe what was happening with this young man in Kisii High School for him to have kept a knife in his pocket and gone with it to the office. This other child who carried a panga to the deputy principal's office, at what point did he get the panga? And maybe what was going on through his mind? And
Hello. Hello, Maggie. Umeona picha yenye nani amepost Facebook jana? Akisi anakaa poa. Alipata sponsor juzi tu, mzungu. Haya. Aki anakaa poa. Mimi hata naye siwezi kubali kubaki nyuma mimi. Mimi nataka tu saizi nivae, nikuje unisaidie kwa hiyo foundation yako na eye pencil na hiyo lipstick. Nataka kutesa. Alafu unaweza nisaidia jeans yako ya blue na hizo heels za red. Pia mimi nataka kutesa. Mimi hakuna venye nitabaki nyuma. Watu watajuaje hata kama naishi kwa single room? Kila mtu lazima ajue mimi nimeomoka.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Arts in Hearts. We are here joined by the lovely panelists, and today we have a beautiful, beautiful guest with us. But first of all, before anything, let us invite the host of the night, a lovely, lovely Nyanduko, all the way in Kenya. Hey, Nyanduko. How are you tonight? You have muted yourself, so we can't hear you.
Okay, I thought you were in control of my mic. Please tell someone to be in control of it.
I will do so.
I am very happy, and it's gonna be an amazing show. It's gonna be amazing. There's just so much lined up for you guys, and stay tuned till the end. Thank you, Vicky.
Thank you so much, Nyanduko. Would you like to introduce the rest?
Yes, and on set, the set is never complete without our very beautiful Noreen, Ambata, and my very able co-host, Likuyani Ellie. Now, where is Noreen? I want Noreen to say hi to us as we wait for Ellie to come and say hi to us. So, Noreen, we'll invite Ellie.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I'm so happy to have you. I'm so happy to see you, Nyanduko and Nkava. Hey, you look amazing.
Manze, we're going to have to you.
Yani nakwambia hii show leo yani. Let us just welcome the rest, but Let me allow Likuyani to come in. Karibu sana Eli.
Hello, good evening. I think somebody is playing some interesting miracles here, and that must be the very, very best Victoria. Good evening, Victoria.
Good evening. You know what? This whole technology thing, you're doing it, I'm doing it. So let's agree that I will do it. But good evening. How are you?
I'm great. How have you been? And welcome to the show. This is Art in Heart. I'm your host, Likuyani, Eli, and the rest of the panel. But before we do that, we have a guest on board, none other than Miss Nyokabi GK Kamau. Good evening, Miss Nyokabi. How are you?
Good evening, Eli. How are you?
I'm great. Good to see you. You're looking awesome.
Oh, thank you. I can't help it.
Yeah, I know that's your weakness because you do your work in an awesome way, and we're glad to have you on board. So as we get into this, allow me to bring back Nyanduko and Victoria because we are expecting one more guest on board. But before that, let's just lay it bare and know what happened last week and what is transitioning us into the topic of tonight.
But talking about the incidences which have been reported in the media, that is, I think, Kisii High School. We have the other school where a boy had a panga and wanted to chop off probably the head of the deputy principal. And I had another one there was in Baringo. I tend to think probably we may not escalate that to a national level, but we need to look at it as the situation demands. Maybe what was happening with this young man in Kisii High School for him to have kept a knife in his pocket and gone with it to the office. This other child who carried a panga to the deputy principal's office. At what point did he get the panga? And maybe what was going on through his mind? And
so that is what we had last week. And this week, we are discussing social media and everything that comes with it in the name of self-love. I just said naam because we say in Dutch naam instead of name. My excuses. So Nyanduko, take it away.
Now, this is a very beautiful topic, and it's very interesting for me because one, I use social media a lot, and two, because I'm a content creator, and the self-love bit is also very important because many youths have lost themselves, you know, in trying to get social approval from other people and forgetting that self-love is actually a thing, you know. So we should embrace self-love. You know, you cannot give love when you do not even have love for yourself. And social media comes with a lot of that, you know, that people have set a certain standard of beauty. There's what is acceptable according to society, and what are you willing to do? How many changes are you willing to do to your body, to yourself, to your face, to your physical appearance, to how you talk, to everything, you know, to get approval from people that is on social media, and how much truth is actually there on the lives that people live on social media, and how much lies are there on social media. So it's going to be a beautiful topic, Ellie.
So I call it truth and lies, and therefore let me just bring in very quickly Madam Nyokabi to lay the ground kicking for us. Ms. Nyokabi, if you can hear me.
Yes,
what
I can
do you
hear
make
you.
of the topic, and why will we be discussing social media and self-love?
Well, it's important to take into consideration the season we are at, or the generation that we are at, whereby social media has become our way of life. We are no longer participating in activities outside and playing. We are busy on our phones, scrolling and seeing how many likes we have, how many approvals we are getting. So it's a very interesting topic to dive into, as the effect it has on us as human beings, you know, being that we already have challenges with our self-esteem and our image. And then now we have to deal with what the standard that the social media has placed before us, as defining what beauty is. So it's going to be a very interesting topic to look at and see how we can be able to navigate our self-esteem, our confidence, our self-love, how we can be able to balance between the reality and the fiction that is being illustrated on social media. Back to you, Ellie.
Thank you, Nyokabi, and I can let some more about it. Noreen, you did a piece there about this young lady who has seen a friend's photo online, and then they get all jealous and all zealous about being like them. What would be going through the minds of young people by that kind of video we saw?
Thank you. We don't go to social media the way we are, like the real us, but we want to create another image that is not us. We want to bring out that person that is not me, that person that is not Noreen, that person that is not Nyanduko, that person that is not Ellie. We want to fit in a certain class. And for that reason, we'll have to find different means and go for different things in order to come to a place whereby we feel like we are satisfied, we feel like we are where we are, but in real sense, nothing. So I feel like today's topic is just meant for us to understand what people do with social media, if it's fake, or are they faking their lives, are they faking what they are right now, or what is happening in the society at the moment.
Thank you. So I'm going to bring it back to Vicky. Noreen, your microphone. I'm going to bring it back to Vicky, who will help us to go through the steps of what we are covering tonight. And then right after that, we have a short clip for you. Thank you. Vicky, take it away.
Yes. Hello, everybody. So, as you have heard today, we have a great and an amazing show lined up for you. We are doing social media and self-love, where we are going to dissect the influence of social media on our image and how we view ourselves. We are also going to dive into the influencer generation, where we talk to the influencers on board, the content creators, and see how their influence influences us, for lack of a better word to put in there, influences us to look at ourselves and our self-image and ourself and how much it influences our self-love. Now, this is very important because this is our generation. This is what we're living in. This is what we are seeing every single day. So stay tuned and enjoy the show. And do not forget to tune in and share with us as well on our comment section. So be part of the conversation. Tell us what your experiences have been, and let's engage.
So as we engage tonight, we have a very interesting panelist lined up for you. And be sure to join the cast, share the cast, tag a friend, ask a friend to tag a friend, and more important, be here to interact with us. So we're gonna run a short clip for you. That is just to help us set base for what is happening. And therefore, we will be, after that, we will tune in and ask Mrs. Nyokabi to bring us to speed with the topic of the night.
Okay, we just wanted to start a show. That's all. Yeah.
Okay, so what was your show going to be based on?
Our show was about to be about these two people who look alike, but they're not related. Because we had taken time to study about the doppelgangers, and we thought maybe if we created something like a show, it will get a lot of attention.
So this was pretty much clout chasing.
Yes, it was.
Clout chasing. You are very straightforward today.
Yeah.
What are your parents saying?
So, Mrs. Nyokabi, I'm going to ask you, you've seen that clip, and
Yes.
I know you're passionate about people's psychology and how young people interact on the streets of life. What do you have to
Yes.
say about that information you just went through?
That information for me, what is said to me when I was listening to that, those looking at their age, first of all, they must be in their teens or in their early youths. They are youths. They are not yet the older youths, but wako hapo katikati ya teen and youths. And I thought that what they were looking for is a way to influence. And they were looking for a way to become relevant or to seek approval by coming up with a project that could, what they thought would captivate other people, that would catch other people and get them somewhere, push them from where they are to a different level. That's what I had when I was listening to them. That's what I had them saying. But what I'm concerned about is that we have come up, we are in a place where social media has become our way of life. If you know what I mean, Ellie. It has become that if you're not on social media, then you're not doing anything with yourself, right? It's become that if you don't have a trending YouTube channel, if you don't have a trending Instagram account, then you're not doing something that can acquire you numerous likes, that can acquire you followers, thousands of followers, and even earn you on social media. So what I felt these children, if I may call them children, were looking for was that relevance to some level. Yes? Over to you, Ellie.
Relevance to some level, you say it,
Yes.
Madam Nyokabi. But let me just ask Nyanduko, because she is one of these people that are on the social space and the social media. Nyanduko, what does that mean to you, and why do we have to go to such lengths? And for anybody that has been following that story, I mean, I don't need more explanation, and courtesy of Tuko, of course, we appreciate that. But Nyanduko, why those levels of relevance?
Okay, Ellie. Now we live in a country where if you are on social media, if you are a celebrity, a wannabe celebrity, an upcoming celebrity, relevance is key, and for you to get people talking. Kenya is a strange place, and maybe the world in general. You have to be controversial. You have to be very talented or very controversial. And it is sad, but that is the society we live in, a society in which you have to choose between relevance and controversy. And most people, sadly, choose controversy. Like those two kids chose controversy. And people go to such lengths for approval, like I said earlier. And we live in a society where for you to get approval, you really have to stand out. You really have to have something. You really have to get people talking. And people try by all means to do anything that would get people talking. Sometimes it's not even about the money, it's about the popularity. And most artists and most other upcoming artists are actually just popular, but are not making any money from it. And if you ask many people, they're actually trying to get the popularity first. And the popularity, sometimes people have gotten bad publicity out here. But the society we live in, we stopped demonizing bad things. We stopped demonizing bad things that should be bad, and we embrace them. We give them interviews, and kids have known this, Ellie. Kids have known that I will go out there, I'll get naked on a show, and I'll be on TV the next day, So our society has idolized popularity, and that is one of the main keys as to why most young people are doing really controversial stuff out here.
Awesome. She has mentioned controversy. She has mentioned young people doing it all in the name of being relevant. And Noreen, in your setup piece, you told us about this lady who has seen another lady who has a sponsor. So when we talk about social media and the relevance of, being self-confident with yourself, what does that imply, Noreen?
Okay, so
I'm sorry, Noreen, we lose you. I will bring you later on. Your microphone was a bit off link, but once again, Noreen, if you can hear me, I will bring you back. The relevance of social media and this kind of sponsorship lifestyle.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I think I'm becoming Nyanduko to some extent. I'm very sorry. So, well, sponsors, social media. Well, you need to look good for someone to admire you, or for someone to look at you. So that is what we put in our minds as young ladies, young girls. That is what people have.
Sorry, we will try fix Noreen and have her to join us later on. So I will take it back to Mrs. Nyokabi to just lay foundation for us. Why do we have young people going to such lengths of, finding so-called the other kind of people's life better than them? Is it so much pressure to identify and to be relevant because of lifestyle, because of the level of life, because of poverty? What exactly is it? Is it confidence from a young age?
Hi, I was going to unmute. Hi, Ellie. Now, to respond to your question, I think it starts with the perception that an individual has about themselves. And like we are sharing and saying that we are in a season where we don't have time to build ourselves and find out who we are as a person. You don't have time to know yourself as a girl. You don't have time to know yourself as a boy, because we are in an overload of information. Everybody's trying to have an Instagram account. Everybody's trying to have a Facebook account. And when you go to these social media accounts, you find there's a standard of, or there's a social norm of what it means to be who you are, what it means, your place in society in terms of finances, in terms of your physical beauty, in terms of your level of education. So you're finding that there's so much pressure to live up to something that's not real. There's this picture that has been created on social media that for you to be beautiful, you have to look like a certain person who is very popular on Instagram. That for you to be acceptable to girls, or to girls to love you and to want you, have to drive a certain car. So there's this pressure, Ellie, for people to keep up with what is happening in the society, the false picture that has been created by the society or by us, social media influencers. We've created this picture that's forcing young girls and young boys to try to live up to it. And because of this, we are not giving them time to develop themselves, to have their own personal identity. So without the personal identity, then they're trying to look like Nyokabi, they're trying to look like Duko, they're trying to look like Nikata. So because they don't know where they are and who they are, but the society has placed this standard or this level, this dictation that if you're beautiful, you have to be light-skinned, you have to have pronounced brooksides, and your sitting surface area has to be a certain magnitude. You have to be small at your waistline. Are you seeing what I'm saying? So there's this pressure to keep up with what the society is saying, but you haven't had time as a person to develop who you are. So as they're chasing what's happening in the society, they don't know who they really are. So I wish we can enable somebody to know who they are, because if you're older, the society may not influence you so much. Facebook may not affect really how you feel about yourself. You know, somebody has put filters. You know, those eyebrows, there's no way those eyebrows are real, right? And it's not easy to have everything. You know, you have a beautiful face, you have a beautiful hair, you have everything. It's not possible, and a small waist. So if you have already developed your own person, then social media will not affect you so much. But if you're a teenager, you're just discovering your sexuality, you're a girl, you're a boy, and every boy on Facebook is standing behind a BMW like this, a red one, and if they're not standing an emoji Mercedes, they're standing behind a Subaru, and you're trying to discover, guy, who am I, where am I, and if you're a teenager and you're a young girl and you see Nyokabi with her perfect eyebrows and her nails are well done and have posed on Instagram, you're thinking that's the way life is, then we are not able to balance between the reality and the fiction that's being created on social media. And I think that's what is affecting our generations, and that's what is causing us to have a lot of challenges in the society, because they're trying to we can't tell between the reality and the fiction of things, because these young people haven't had the chance to develop who they are or to know who they really are, right? So then you can't have confidence. To answer your question about confidence, Ellie, you can't have confidence if you don't know who you are, right? You have confidence in what you're seeing in the magazines, in what you're seeing in Facebook, in what you're seeing in Instagram, in what you're seeing in Snapchat. So it's giving you a picture of what a girl is defined as. It's giving you a picture of what a boy is defined as. And I want to use a literal example, Ellie, if you would allow me.
Go ahead.
If you look at an African woman, we have curled hair. It's just now because of Lupita, we have started to accept our curled hair.
Well, you forgot the first lady. She's
yes, and the first lady, she did an excellent job of owning her short hair and beautiful. And you see my sister over there tapping her hair. But the norm before was wearing these wigs of straightened hair is what was defined to be to be beautiful. So you find at every girl is trying to wear that 30,000, 40,000 weave because that's what is termed to be beautiful, to have that straight horse hair, if I may call it horse hair, because it's horse hair. It's horse hair. And then you look at the boy child. The boy child is trying to keep up with wearing blings and wearing a certain shirt and growing their hair and cutting their hairstyles like Ellie. And that's what a handsome man looks like. Or a handsome man that is doing well looks like Ellie. So you don't know, as a teenager, you don't know whether really that's what you want to do. And may I use the beard? Have you seen this thing that's going on with the beard on social media? Since this guy came up with the perfect filled beard, even guys who are in their 30s and their 40s, they're struggling to keep like recross, have a full beard, because the pressure seems to be that if you have a full beard, then you're a man,
Yeah.
and you look good. And
Mwanaume ni ndevu. I mean, mwanaume ni ndevu.
Because you have some, Eli. There are those ones wenye wako na kale kanini kambuzi hapa.
And we'll be praying for them. That includes one of my guests who will be showing up tonight, Uncle Jay.
they are still men. So you can see how social media can really affect how you see yourself if you really haven't built your inner muscle. Because you have to build your inner muscle so that you can come to the physical muscle, and so that how many likes you like does not really affect how you see yourself and how you perceive who you are. Yes, please.
How you perceive who you are. And yes. I mean, I want to engage Nyanduko to this, because this is really her topic. I will say that. Nyanduko, what is it that every time you guys have to take photos, there's something you do and you are like, that thing? Are ladies almost falling off the cliff because of, what is the problem? Is this, and there is also a standard way of taking photos, and I think you will agree with me, Ms. Nyokabi. They will do this. What is happening? Is it more of for a lack of a better word, sexual appeal to the rest of the viewers? Wapenzi watazamaji, as we call them. Nyanduko.
Ellie, have you ever heard about trolls on social media? You go try.
Tell me about it.
Go try take a selfie facing your camera like this, and then you post it, and then we'll have this conversation afterwards. People get trolled, and everyone wants to get their good side. Everyone wants to get their perfect lighting. Sometimes it's not even for you. Sometimes it's for, who is gonna see this picture, because we've seen celebrities, we've seen influencers do it, and they didn't get trolled for it. And you posted your photo facing your camera like this, and people ask you, where are your ears? What is wrong with your nose? And now you have to suck your nose in and look some type of way, for social media. And sometimes when people pose, popping their, blessings from God, it is basically just, maybe it will take the distraction off your face for a minute and take it elsewhere. And they're not trying to be, they're not trying to. And social media has a way of making everything sexual, and making they've sexualized a woman. They've made a woman want to appeal to social media sexually, and most women end up trying too hard sometimes. But what to do? It is where we are. It's where we are, and it is, as Nyokabi said, the older women have it a little bit less disturbing, because they're older. They probably have settled. Me and my 22 years here, I'm trying to find my perfect Mr. Person with nice beard out here, and I'll not find him if I pop my nose on my camera like this. I have to find a good angle and good lighting, so that when you see my face, you start thinking I'm pretty. Do you know how much work it took for me to appear on screen tonight?
Tell me about it, Nyanduko. Engage me.
It's not. It's because I'll appear on a show tonight, and I'm like, wait, what is wrong with me? Why is Nyokabi looking this good? Why did Victoria put all this effort? And I've been on a show before, and today I met someone, and she told me something. She told me that a friend of hers went for an audition, for a presenter audition on some TV I won't mention, and she was very good. And they sent her the "we regret" email that we've all gotten at some point. And what they told her, the reason was the fact that she's not the definition of what beautiful is. She does not do the nails, and she's not as classy as they would have wanted. That was the word, as they would have wanted. And they were offering her something else, like where else she could try. That was nice enough of them. But they gave the job to someone else who was less qualified. But because she had what is, the social media definition of beauty. Have you heard about advertisements that say that we want a lady this height, we want beautiful girls, light-skinned girls, and social media has linked beauty and being light, so that we have to download Snapchat and other apps to fix our skin color, because what to do? I'll post my photo with my very black, very nice skin and get trolled from here to Timbuktu. Ellie, people do it for their self-esteem, mostly. You don't look like that. And these days, girls have made it normal to say that I don't work with filters. So if we meet and I'm looking different, please suit yourself. It's what you get. But it is mostly there's no point of posting a photo. You took your time, your own data bundles to post a photo and then get trolled. My friend, I'll filter those photos from here to South Africa.
Thank you, Nyanduko, for that perspective. I'm told by Vicky, our guest in the studio, is ready to join us. I would like to get Noreen's perspective on the same, but allow me to ask Vicky to bring us a guest if he's ready for us. Vicky.
Yes, I am ready. And joining us on stage is our second guest for the night. And he's from my motherland, actually, Mumeru, Mukoro. And
he's American.
It's an American affair. And just allow me to introduce Jasper Murume. Hello, Jasper.
What's happening, baby?
It's the energy. It's the energy for me. It's the energy.
Yeah.
How are you, Jasper?
Mmenipata wakati tu nimeaki nilikuwa na njaa. Yeah. Kwa hivyo kama mkiona kisukuma kwa maneno mniambie tafadhali tusichome mpaka live iishe.
It's the energy for me, guys. I mean, Jasper is a comedian and he's already bringing life to the stage, and he's also an influencer. We usually see paid by Diego and Captain Morgan and out there. He's an influencer, and he's going to tell us a bit more about this whole influencing life and what it's doing to these people. And that is, him and Nyanduko, same WhatsApp group. They're the ones who are influencing us. You see, she's talking about beauty. Can you see her face? So, but at the end of the day, they are amazing, and they're going to dig into the whole influencing bit. But before we go there, Ellie, get back to Noreen, because Noreen has been trying to say something and we're not getting it. So I really want her to say what she wants to say.
Great. I know Jay is having problem fixing his landscape thing. I know it's an American thing, so Jay, just automate your option on the screen of the tilt rotation, and you're good to go to have a landscape. It must be on activate mode already, and then you can get it. So Noreen, back to you. If you can hear me, Noreen, let's have you engage us.
Well, social media ikona maneno. Now, we go to social media, sijabarikiwa huku nyuma na mbele. So there is no way nitapiga picha, I post on social media, I post on Facebook or Instagram kama nimeweka kamera huku nyuma, because comments hazitakuwa tafadhali. You'll be told, we kwenda huko, umekondeana kama kuni, and all those things will come, pressure itaanza. Another thing, as we grow up, we're being told by our parents, you're beautiful the way you are. Wewe kutana na Snapchat. Now Snapchat is telling you you're something different. You can be something a little bit different. In real sense, that is not you. Hata ufanye aje, you'll never be like hizo images ziko Snapchat. Now your boyfriend tells you, acha, si unipigie kapicha uni DM nayo. We nayo Snapchat umepiga umetuma. Now it comes a day for you to meet. Unakutana a different person. Are you the one that I saw last time? Kwani huyo ni nani? Was it your sister or your auntie? Who was it? Like, we are trying to be where we are not. Please, just accept yourself the way you are. Kama uko na pimple, let people see I have a pimple here, and that is me. Accept it and work with it, because there is a place for you at the end of the day. There is no need of you to fake. Utafake mpaka lini? Because at the end of the day, that is you. That is you. Hata ukatae usikubali, that is you. So don't allow yourself to like unataka kujieka hiyo place so that people can respect you. Watu wanaona if you are this way, hivyo ndio utakuwa respected. No, you're just respected venye uko. You're accepted the way you are. Ukianza kufata mambo na social media, the way people are doing things, the way people want you to be like her, that's what people want you to be. But have you identified yourself? It means you've lost your identity. You're trying to look for identity somewhere else, of which out apart identity from someone else. It is you to identify yourself from where you are, then work with it. Walk with it. That is it for me. Jasper, what do you have to say?
Sasa, first of all, thank you guys for having me here. I really appreciate and respect what you guys are trying to do here, what you're doing, creating these amazing conversations. And today, ni vizuri hata we are talking about social media and what social media comes with, because for most people, social media comes with hell. Unaniget? So, for the society, kitambo we had TV, we had the mainstream TV, tulikuwa na TV na maybe radio huoni mtu unasikia tu. So TV ndio ilikuwa ina influence watu sana. Watu wanaona watu wanafanya hivi kwa TV, wanaenda wanajaribu kukua hivyo. Unaona wakina Michael Jackson wamevaa venye wamevaa, ama kina nini, wakati watu wanaenda wanataka that kind of pressure. And whether we like it or not, media, and before we even talk about social media huwa ina influence watu sana, especially the young people, ina influence maisha yao vyenye itakuwa. And now this is the reason why that TV thing has become much worse, kwa sababu sasa it's like we are walking around with our TVs in our pockets, whereby ukiwa na simu yako, kwanza sasa hizi ni smartphone, kama uko na tu bundles wako, unaweza ona Jasper Murume anytime that you want. You can just get in and see Erico Mondi. You can see whoever you want, including Obama himself, the Pope. I'm sure you can follow what the Pope is doing this week through social media. So, as a result of that, people still, especially the young people, they don't understand that whatever you see on these screens is specifically prepared for you. Hakuna kitu inaekangwa hapo hivyo yenye imewekwa tu randomly at a reality show. Everything is done so that it can evoke your emotions and your way of thinking. Remember, when you see a TV kidogo, you see an advertisement. That's the whole point. So now, especially the young people, and I keep saying this because they're easily influenced, because of course, the younger you are, the less you have in your mind. So whatever comes in, that's what comes in. Sasa watu wanaona vitu kwa TV, watu wanaona kama ukiona wimbo watu wanasema ni kindukulo ni kinini, ukiona over and over unaanza kuipiga. Ukiona watu wamevaa hivi unaanza kufanya hivyo. Sasa shida inaanza wakati unaona watu wengi wanafika live fulani kwa social media na wewe hauwezi. Hapo sasa ndio shida inaanzianga hapo sasa. Sasa hapo ndio pressure inaanzia, to stretch tunaanza naona kina nani wanatesa bana hapa hivi. Wako kwa Masinde. Hizi ni nguo hiyo kiatu bana. Hiyo kiatu tu bana. Yaani mimi siwezi tu afford kitu kama hiyo. Sisi tulikuwa tunasoma naye juzi. Yani anaishi hiyo life. Na mimi siwezi. Kumbe ni uongo. Kuna watu wanaenda mpaka kwa airport kupiga mapicha ndio tudhani wana travel. Ni uongo. So ikitu imeleta what we need to do is we need to teach the kids. Imepatia wazazi more pressure and more responsibility, whereby wazazi na walimu na guardians na everyone, that people like you guys, and this is an amazing platform. You need to keep educating people that what you see on TV or on social media is not real. It is just fantasy world. It is just created. It is there to amuse you, to entertain you, and after it has entertained you, it should not so much influence you that you try to change your life into turning it to look like that of the person that you saw on the screens. Sasa even the pressure inakuanga. Wase wa young watu wanahitaji ku understand hivyo, kwa sababu it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate what is happening right now. Naongea sana.
My apologies, my mic was muted. Thank you, Jasper. It's amazing hearing that perspective from an actual celebrity. I hope there are young people who are following, who admire you, and who aspire to have the kind of life that you have, and to even be content creators like you are. And they hear it from you that these things are actually prepared. It's a script that's written and set up to create a certain picture and a certain image so that you can achieve a certain audience. So it's not the way you live your life. You know, the other day I was interacting with a celebrity who is a musician, and I was so surprised when I met him in a mall. He was driving a Honda, aka kadogo kenye kanaka kama kavits. Na kwa ngoma zote anakuanga na Mercedes, sijui ma Range Rover. You know, when vile tulimpata kwa mall, we almost passed him because we thought, we saw him and we said, this must be this guy. And we said, no, there's no way he can be driving a Honda Fit. How now? Sinaonanga ngoma zake anakuanga na Mercedes ya white. So we expected him to be in a white Mercedes, which he wasn't. He was in a Honda Fit, a blue one. And it took us aback to actually accept that that is the life that he lives. And he was quite honest, and he told us, by the way, it's even a rental. I don't own a car. Ni vile sasa nikienda namba 3, nitakaa wapi? You know, so I need to be able to move from point A to point B. So I really appreciate that they are hearing from actual celebrities who we term as celebrities, Mokoro, and they are looking at you and they are saying, I want to be this guy. I want to be a content creator like this guy. So they can be able to relate with you and separate the fiction, the script, and bring it in to reality. Now, I want to touch a little bit on that image that we are creating, and I want to talk about the body image or the physical image that we create. And I'm so happy that one of us has shared and said how much preparation she took, or how much time she took to prepare herself for this particular broadcast, right? You did your eyebrows, you did the powder, you did, you know, you are not like the Nyokabis who really, I don't know. I don't even know how to do it, but I like that you're admitting that you took time to present yourself the way you have presented yourself. But is it an everyday thing? Is it all the time that you look like that? Because when young people go to your page, they see when you take your selfie, you look some type of way. You're always put together. Your eyes are excellent. Your eyebrows are beautiful. Your lipstick is in place. And we wonder, when you don't eat, because me, when I eat or I take a cup of water, the lipstick is left on the glass. So I don't know how you manage to keep your lipstick all through and through. So what we need to create, the awareness that we need to create for these young people, is the awareness of separating the script with the reality, understanding that there is the behind the scenes that happens before the actual thing is put in place. I want to use our international celebrities, let's say like Akina Kim Kardashians, the most famous ones, who define the body shape of a woman, or Akina J-Lo. And when you look at their lives, these people are in the gym trying to keep that body shape, because that's the way society has defined that for a woman, for you to be beautiful, like I said, you need a big hair and a big sitting area and a small and a flat tummy and a small waistline, which is impossible to achieve. So these people they have professionals and trainers who are always working in particular areas of their body so that they can achieve that particular shape. So as our young girls are looking at them and following them on Instagram and liking their photos when they are coming from the beach in their bikini wears, wearing those two things looking like Kim Kardashian, you know, what they don't know is the work that has been put into this person to look like that. So there's that behind the scenes. There's also the other thing we are calling filters. I was very impressed on Instagram. By the way, Kata, the other day I started taking photos with Instagram, and I started using the filters. And when I would post with these filters, you see, you swipe like this. I was taught by my niece, so that it adds, I don't know what, complexion or evens out your face. I got more likes. I realized that people are liking, oh, you're so beautiful, you look so nice. So I'm reading those comments on my phone and I'm wondering, guy, so without the filters, I'm not beautiful. So without the filters, I can't get the likes, you know. And I saw there's even, you can take a photo of yourself, you know, lifting one leg up with the angle, and then you again swipe like this and it gives you a VA a V8 shape. And I was thinking, it took me aback, and I was thinking, if this person who is writing there, you're so beautiful, I want to marry you, I want to be with you, when they meet me in person and they see my Kikuyu body shape, what you know, everything is uneven, everything is unproportional. There are places that are too big, others are too small, kuna shortage. Nielewa. Of the essential services, kuna shortage. What is he going to do? What is going to happen? Is he going to walk away from the date? You know, so there's this picture that's being created by social media that we need to be very sensitive about and create a lot of awareness. And I wish that we can have those people, our icons, the ones we are looking at and aspiring to be like, they can come out and honestly tell us, by the way, kuweka hizi muscles is not joke. I have to be in the gym like 3-4 hours a day, working out, trying to build the biceps, the triceps, one at a time. I don't know whether you saw on media this guy who was asking for help. Alijidunga cooking oil. Sasa amekaa hivi. I don't want to laugh, by the way, but it's so funny. I saw him on Facebook. I'm so sorry. Please asione hii clip. So I saw him on Facebook. He's seated like this. All the cooking oil has swelled around his chest or on his arms. He can't put his hands like this anymore because he thought it's easy to manage, it's easy to get those muscles from the pressure. And the women like men who have muscles, and he's very wrong. There are a small percentage of women who love those kind of muscles. Just so you know, gentlemen, very small percentage. Most of us just prefer the normal muscle we can work with. Utaki mtu tena mumenda na yeye mahali kila mtu anataka kukuchokoza ndio aone kama ako na nguvu ya kukudefend. So now this guy has used a lot of cooking oil.
Are you saying Jasper and I are in the right place?
Yes.
Just that we are clear about the body size.
We can even vote. You're there. Yes. We like working.
The eyes have it. The eyes have it. Thank you.
Yes.
Continue, please.
We don't want too much work to be a competition to us at tumevaa shati. When we go with you somewhere, people are looking at your muscles instead of looking at how much I've invested on my hair. Anyway, coming back to this guy on Facebook, he's frozen like this and he's pleading and appealing to Kenyans to help him get surgery to remove that cooking oil so that he can go back to himself, because he's not happy with his physical image. And I believe social media is tipping over the scales by the fact that we already have our own insecurities. Yeah. For example, the other day, somebody told me I need to stop bringing, every time I do a hairstyle, I need to stop bringing my hair to the front. People are noticing I am insecure about my forehead. And he happened to be, come on, ladies. And he happened to be a client. So he tells me, Nyokabi, just pull your hair back. You're still pretty even when you have your hair back. So what is this with this thing with you? You're always covering one eye like a particular news anchor. And I said, but having a big forehead is not termed as beautiful. You know, people are always, those people who have big foreheads, they're always doing the fringes and hiding, and people with a beautiful forehead like Nikata Apple, and you're the ones who we term to be Nyanduko. They're the ones who we term to be beautiful. But how many are you in this one? You know, so this self-image that we are creating, this fiction that we are creating, we also need to create back information and let these people know I'm a social media influencer. I need to look a certain way so that I can appeal to you. But that should not give you pressure to keep up with me. I have a makeup artist who comes and draws my eyebrows for me. They know where to cover the pimples. They know how to do it to give me an even skin. But on a normal day, if you meet me at the supermarket, you will just pass me because you will not know me. So what we need to focus more is that behind the scene information for these guys. So over to you, Ellie.
It's actually over to me.
Yes.
I actually have to say something. You know, even biologically, the human body is not symmetrical. So I want to come here and make symmetry on my face. Now, because Jasper told me the other day I have a big forehead. Now tomorrow I want to cover. Maybe Jasper, we need to talk about you and my forehead. Now, you know, people have actually gone ahead to kutoa ribs. You reduce your ribs to get that hourglass, hourglass figure. There's something about me. Jasper talks about my forehead all the time, but my self-esteem is over the roof. And if you know, it's not everyone that has self-esteem like Nyanduko. So Nani Victoria goes ahead, Ama Noreen posts a photo, and they have not covered this helipad. And now, where is Eddie wants to come and talk about how, hey, your forehead, tunaweza land hapo West, tunaweza park gari ya Jasper hapo. And now Noreen wants to go and cry and find a kitambaa and funga her forehead up to here. It starts with self-love. Na ukijipenda, hizi vitu zenye Jasper anasema zitakusumbua akili. Na sasa usipojipenda, ama you know, some of us, the young people, we actually depend so much on approval. Leo Jasper hajalike picha yangu, now I want to go and cry and get a wembe and cut myself because a certain someone did not comment on my photo, ama they did not, you know, say what I thought they would say after putting all that work. Now nataka kwenda, I put in so much work, I bought a new outfit, nilinunua kibeti ya Chanel, imeandikwa na Shal, najua ni knock off, lakini bado nilinunua. Someone should say something about it, and no one says something about it, and I want to get all depressed about it. If you love yourself, Victoria is nothing. It is not easy, Vicky. It is not easy to you know, Victoria has a wig, and some of us who cannot buy wigs, we have to live with our foreheads. We have to live with them. But it is, you have to live with your small bam bam, you know, it is yours. Where do you take it? And people have gone ahead to buy there are innerwears that come with nyash that is like this, does not move. You know, normal human being careers should be moving around. Now you have yours. It's a lot of work. I mean, seeking approval is a lot. Trying to seek approval is a lot of work. And the moment you stop, now you want to come here because your nose, mapua yangu inakaanga ni kama ni kubwa kwa picha. Now I want to suck it in. You know, Ellie was asking, mbona tunapozingi hivi kwa picha? Tunapunguza mapua. It is a lot of work. Juu nikipost hivi mapua yangu yote, utasikia Jasper ameniambia hapo tunaweza pita, tutokea huko kwa akili, to land hapa kwa forehead. It's a lot of work, man. So, as much as kuna kujipenda, yeah, social media is brutal. It is brutal. And as Noreen was saying, jipende, post, please, if the photos will go with your self-esteem, post bila makeup, don't. Just, you know, and you know, social media is a choice. You can choose that if this social media is actually causing me more hurt, I can do without it. And I like the fact that Instagram wanted to introduce a feature that if someone has posted a photo that is filtered, inasema filtered. Because hey, the other day you saw that Nyokabi hana magoti. Na wewe uko na magoti yako imeumia kutoka hapo mpaka South Africa. So it is Jasper, ukiona Jasper, have you ever seen Jasper on Instagram? The shoes, the shoes. Kutana na Jasper huko nyumbani. Kutana na yeye. So, you know, the celebrities, you people by the Jasper, sponsored by Diageo, you should start telling us that this look is a borrowed look. It is just for the gram. Because people are trying out here to live like you people are living on the gram, na tunataka kuishi hivyo every day. Niko kwa bedsita yangu hapa nimeteseka, sijakula, lakini nilinunua foundation ya 3,000 because no, you should start telling people that this is, you know, this is not actually what kwa ground vitu ni different. We have our bad days, there are days we look bad, and it is bad that our celebrities do not have a moment when they post bad photos, because we've made it a norm on social media that ukipost picture bila makeup unaulizwa what is wrong, why is your brother on your live, ndugu yako anafanya nini kwa Instagram yako. And you saw what happened to Asia the other day. She tried to be real, and social media has not given us room to be real. It is a bad thing, because you try be real, you will suffer the consequences. And Jasper, wachaneni na forehead yangu. Jasper, what do you have to say about it? What do you have to say?
Sasa Nyandus, kwanza kabisa mimi sijawahi sema ati forehead yako iko na forehead. I have never said that. Oh, ama hujataja hiyo. Oh, pole, sorry. Sasa, I think before you even sign up for a social media account, unaona wakati unaitishwa email address, unaitishwa your number or something, unaulizwa sijui your age, your country, of all those things that internet asks for. I think somewhere hapo inafaa kukuambia kindly confirm that your self-esteem is out of the roof. Kindly confirm, because you can't join social media if you have troubles with your self-esteem. You cannot join social media if you have troubles with your self-esteem, because people will be very fast to remind you of how you look or how they think that you look. Kwa hivyo sasa umekuja hapo hivyo, kwanza umesema msichana uko hapo hivyo, saa hizi wewe without even realizing it, just through social media unaanzanga ku create image ya msichana mwenye ni beautiful. Kama saa hizi after years and years of people watching TV, we all know that msichana ati mrembo ni mwenye anakaa akona figure fulani inakaa hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi. Figure ambayo ukikuja hapa Mount Kenya haifevi watu wengi. Sasa so because of media, kwa sababu ya media na nini tuna believe hiyo ndio nini. Sasa wewe unaingia pale hivyo kwa social media, usha login, umecreate account na umeanza kuupload mapicha na ndio umetoka high school. Hakuna mtu ashai kuambia vyenye unakaa. Sijasema unakaa vibaya, ni ati hakuna mtu ashai kuambia vyenye unakaa ama vyenye anafikiria unakaa. So wewe umekuja tu ka login na ukaanza kupost mapicha. My friend, be ready, because people are going to roast you. You should thank God when you get roasted by a comedian, because you see, a comedian is like your uncle or your relative. At least you understand I'm trying to be funny, and at the end of the day, it's going to even work for you because it's going to improve your resistance. Wewe niambia sasa unarostiwa na kimtu hata ujui. Kimtu tu kwa social media kimekuja kikakwambia, "Oh, hizo zako ni za kuvaa, umevaa venye umesema hapo hivi sahihi ati kuna zenye zinavaliwa." Alafu azishake. Zinaenda zikiwa hivi kama ngumi mboise. Sasa wewe utaambiwa vitu hapa nani? Tafadhali before the phone. Tafadhali before you join social media, make sure, I think hiyo ni kitu muhimu sana kabla hawa watoto wote, kwa sababu nowadays they're joining at a very early age. Pata mtu ako na miaka 9 ashachukua simu, ameingia TikTok. Ako TikTok. Huko TikTok unajua ni kina nani wako huko? Kina Aziad anakaa nyoka, anafanyanga hivi. Wewe ushaiona kidogo kuna mwingine hapo anakuja anaichapa ta. Hiyo ni kiuno ya mtu inakuongelesha hivi. Alafu wewe umekuja hapo hivyo na yako inakaa kuni. Sorry, kulingana na watu. Sasa wewe so before you join that place, before you join social media, I think parents, especially parents, because parents are in a better position to access such kind of a show. If you are a parent, a guardian, and you're watching this, please start teaching your kid not just to be obedient, but to be careful with what they feed themselves and to be resistant to all this nonsense, and to understand that this is not the real life of the people that you see on social media. Na wakiambiwa kitu yote pia, kama wewe ni baba, kuwa una roast watoto wako. Wa roast vizuri. Kama wewe ni mama, wapatia attention, because that is another problem that kids have. Watu wamenyimwa attention wakiwa wadogo. Wewe daddy akusikizi. Mama akusikizi for years and years. Ile siku utakutana na kimtu hapa hivi kinakuita babe. Sawa. Aya, okay.
You know what, Jasper? Jasper was someone character development in the streets. You have to be strong enough to go through these streets. It's crazy. But you know what? I want to just shift our heads just a little bit. Kwa sababu Nyokabi, by the way, umenifanya nisikie nywele yangu bana. Hey. Nyokabi said my horse hair. Wait. But you know what? I felt some type of way, but it's okay. It's fine. But you know what? I actually do show up on this show with, I want to show you a different perspective on this, yeah? I show up on this show with short hair, no makeup, long hair. It all depends on how I feel, yeah? And the point that we're trying to actually drive in today is the aspect of actually loving yourself and not allowing the social media pressure to actually come in and influence you. Today, I will feel like taking my hair off. Tomorrow, I'll feel like wearing my hair. And it's not because it should get to a point where I do it for me. I'm not doing it so that I please anybody out there. I'm not doing it so that I come and take my selfies and so on and so forth. Because actually, Ellie will show you a picture in a few moments. He will show you a photo, and I will show you. Sometimes it's about how I feel. Today, I wake up, I dress up, I look nice in a nice dress. The next day, to be honest, I will come on the show with my short hair and no makeup and so on and so forth, simply because I am content with myself. I'm not seeking validation. And this is where even the point of Nduko came in. Stop seeking validation from people. And Jasper also said, be confident in who you are. Whether today you have your long hair and your nice dress and so on and so forth on, or tomorrow when you show up on the show with your hair short and no makeup, it should not matter. None of this should be covered. And another thing that ladies should understand is that your makeup is supposed to accentuate your beauty. It's not supposed to cover who you are. Wengine wetu ukitembea on the streets, we wouldn't even know who you are. Na sasa ukipotea, how will we even find you? Umejikava, you've covered who you are, that we can't even find you. Your photo and who you are do not match. Different WhatsApp group. Yet you're there, and it's supposed to accentuate who you are. Do you know that people tend to tune their photos such that it now becomes a whole mess because you don't even identify with the individual. You're hiding your identity. And that is where you're comfortable in. That really shows how insecure you are. It's supposed to make up social media and so on and so forth. It's supposed to show me who you are, not cover who you are, not show me who you're not. You're not supposed to only show me your good days or the so on and so forth. And now we shift gears into this whole vacation. Influencers. I am about to come to you. Influencers. Paid partnership by Jejeo lakini unakula ugali nyumbani. What is this about? How are you going? How do you feel that you play? A question that is very, very important. Do you feel that you play a huge role in the lifestyle that you also portray? Because for some influencers, like Nyanduko very well said, unaona mtu anavaa Chanel yenye inatoka just imemispeliwa just because they really, really want to wear the Chanel and the so on and so forth. How does this person feel in terms of the people, the pressure? Do they need to wear the Chanel mpaka wanaenda wanatafuta yenye imemispeliwa simply because they want to keep up with a certain lifestyle and influence people to this? Do you feel that you play a role in terms of how people feel, or you have how can you call it? Do you feel that you contribute to people feeling insecure about themselves? This is a question to Nyanduko and Jasper.
Now, I'll ask a question, and this is me trying to side with these influencers. Now, Vicky, tell me you're in a matatu, you're going to town, you're a normal Kenyan, eh? And then Jasper wants to get into the matatu and go to town. Do you think it's going to be the same? One, people will expect Jasper to pay their fare for them. People will want an explanation from Jasper as to why he's actually in that matatu. So if you go find a celeb trying to buy kideri at Mama Mboga, you want kwani unafanya nini hapa? You know, people, society as well has put so much pressure on these artists. And you know, when someone said paid partnership with, it's actually good because they're putting it out there that I'm actually just supporting this brand. But hata society yenyewe has put so much pressure on an artist. Unampata akibai githeri ukola yeye mkubwa bana, unakulanga hizi za kuku pia wewe. Akipanda matatu pia it's a whole other circus because atawalipia fare na wa explain mbona amepanda matatu. Everyone everyone is human. I like what Zedi said sometime back. She said, ukinipata kwa mama mboga nanunua githeri, ninunulie avocado. You know, we've made these people gods, which they are not. You know, at the end of the day, everyone has their struggles. Like every normal Kenyan, apart from wezi na politicians, wako na masiku zenye hawana pesa. You know, now you want to be here and you imagine Jasper has money every day. Kuna siku gari itakuwa ile gari ya Jasper inakuwa manga by the inaweza zima wiki 3 na he has to get around, he has to go to town. Sasa hata panda matatu because he has to have kufanya kahaya kwa sababu akipanda matatu na nyinyi it's another thing. Influencers as well. You know, kuna watu, Jasper is a real man. Jasper is a real person out here, hapaki makeup. But kuna a celebrity couple will wake up every day. Ati this is how we woke up. Kwani who are you? We know. Tunajua. Makeup when the camera starts to roll. But they should put it out there, you know. Akina Jasper should put it out there that, before I started rolling this camera, I was looking some type of way. Mimi niliwaambia wakati nilikuja hapa, I told you guys, yeah, this is not my real face, so my real face is something else. But then again, society pia haiwaruhusu hawa artists wakuwe themselves, because kuna wenye wamejaribu. Waziad alijaribu, huyo akiunoa nyoka alijaribu kupost picha akiwa ushago bila filter, haikuenda mzuri. And then society will wait for you to omoka, and they will find your photo from ile siku uliingia Facebook, ile yenye Jasper anasema that day you entered Facebook, you didn't know, you had not done your survey, and then they will troll you to kingdom come. So once you sign up for social media, be ready for whatever comes with it. Social media is a whole, landmine. Inakuja na everything. There's the good bits, there's the likes and the following, and then there's the trolls. Get ready for it all. No, be ready for the whole journey. Set you want the good, you want the likes and the nini. Watu wasikwambie mbona shingo yako inaka, mbona umekona kama panga umelala nje. At the end of the day, if you want the likes, be ready for everything else that comes with it. So, and like Jasper said, talk to your kids, troll them. My mom trolls me from here to Sijubea, and it made me a strong person, because sasa hata nikikuja hapa social media niulizwe mbona nyuma yako iko mbele na mbele iko nyuma, unaanza kuzoea, because it's things you've heard from where you come from. I want to come here and because nilipost picha moja kama nimeinama hivi karibu naanguka, mkadhani iko, mkikutana na mimi amuioni. Now I have to start explaining. No, jipende. If you love yourself, you will not have to explain anything. Imagine Nyokabi, what do you think?
I agree with you, my dear, a lot on loving yourself. But I want to, because we are here, maybe I can provide a bit of guidance, being that I'm a relationship coach, on how you can learn how to love yourself. Because it's easy to tell somebody, love yourself, accept who you are, embrace your flaws, but it's a journey. Let's first say that it's a journey, and it's not an easy journey to get to a place where we love ourselves. I want us to define, what is that body image that you have of yourself? And what is it? The body image that you have of yourself is a perspective of who you think you are, or the perspective of how you see yourself, both physically and internally. These two things play a very key role in how you love yourself. I want to give you an example. Being that I'm a sanguine, I understand my temperament. I understand that I'm a sanguine choleric. Those are the temperaments that make, or the composition of who a person is. Whenever I go somewhere, because I'm very playful, I'm very loud, I'm very mouthy, I'm the life of the party. I'm the one who brings the party down. I come there and and if I tell you a story, I'll always exaggerate. There were 1,000 people, and in real sense, there were just 100 people. So you'll find that most of the time, such kind of a person is criticized. Okay, and you're told, Nyokabi, can you be quiet? You're making so much noise. And I know guys like Jasper can relate. They didn't know that his jokes would one day make him, give him a living, So growing up, being a child, the teachers were like, where sasa yo kelele yako? It will never help you in any way. So understanding who you are physically helps you to love yourself. Understanding who you are internally, your personality, what composes of you, helps you to love yourself. Because without these two components, it's like having a SIM card without credit, or having credit without a SIM card. So you can have credit, you can love your physical appearance, you can love your shape, you can love your eyebrows, you can love everything about your physical. But if you're not in tune with your internal, you still have a struggle within yourself. So if somebody makes a negative comment about you, you take it so personally. They have attacked you. They are coming for you. You feel like, hi, what's with this person? Because your internal isn't working. So you have to first embrace who you are internally, because that's the biggest part of you. There's somebody who will fall in love with you because of your personality. They'll fall in love with you because you can hold up a conversation. They'll fall in love with you because you're humorous. You'll crack a joke and people will laugh. And whenever they're with you, they are grilling from here to Bantuktok. They are laughing, they're smiling from here to Mombasa. They enjoy your company. It has nothing to do with your physical. So you must first learn how to embrace the person that you're within. Are you a quiet person? Are you a withdrawn person? Are you a person who is keen to details? You like to know every little detail. Okay, Nyokabi is talking about melancholics. You're already Googling what are melancholics. You're already Googling what are sanguines. Are you the kind of person who loves details? So when you accept that inner part of yours, then you come out to the physical. You're a light-skinned person, embrace that you're light-skinned. You're a dark-skinned girl, you're chocolate, embrace that you're a chocolate. Then you start loving who you are, and you find at least 3 things that you love about yourself internally and externally. I'll give you an example with myself. I love the fact that I'm the life of the party. And whenever my friends are gathering somewhere and I'm late, I send them a message and I tell them, so how is the party without me? Any jokes, any fun, any stories? Because I love that aspect about myself. I like the fact that whenever I go into an environment, I bring an energy of happiness. So that's one thing I love about my inner being and who I am. Then I come back to my physical. I always say that this is my stronghold. This is my stronghold. My smile is my stronghold. So whenever we get into a confrontation with somebody and they see they want to become physical, I tell them, don't touch my stronghold, my friend. Bit here where nobody can see, but don't touch my stronghold. So as a person, in order for you to learn how to love yourself and to embrace yourself, so that you can be able to develop a thick skin. So whenever somebody attacks you, you have a backup plan. You have a sponge. You have you have the capability to bounce back. You're like shock zagari. Kipigwa hivi, you bounce back. You learn. You look for things that you love about yourself from within and then from without, and you accept these things and you hold on to them, and especially things that people criticize about you, unless it is something that is a vice, all right, unless it's something that is bad. They keep telling you you're a thief, or they keep telling you you're this, something that is a vice. You're not faithful, you're not reliable. Unless it's a vice, then you don't take that. But if people tell you like cracking jokes, learn how to love about that person that you are, that brings humor into life, because without you, life would be so dull. Can you imagine a world without Mokoro? Can you imagine a world without the kind of intellectual jokes that he brings to the scene? Can you imagine a world without Eric Omondi and his drama? Can you imagine a world without those personalities? So embrace that thing about you that you find so hard to accept, and then love it. If you have a big forehead, if you have it, flaunt it. It is yours. It makes you unique. Maybe that's how you learn how to love yourself. People can tell you, oh, love yourself, accept yourself, let your parents support you. But as we have African parents, they don't have time to tell you that you're beautiful. They don't have time to troll you. They are so busy trying to pay your school fees and threatening you. Usome ama wakuuze, wakupeleke Sudan. They don't have time to worry about your physical and your mental being. So it's for you as a person to intend to embrace yourself. And this struggle does not only affect teenagers, it does not only affect young people, it affects people, even guys of our age, even our grandparents. You will see amevaa nguo, amejiangalia hivi, ameona lakini hii inafanya hips zangu zikae funny, anarudi kwa nyumba, ana change. So you learn how to love yourself by practicing every single day, identifying a new thing in yourself, and you love it, you accept it, it becomes a part of you, it becomes a truth in you, a truth that you're not willing to negotiate. So that even when you find those comments down there, I get a lot of those comments down there, people telling you, oh Nyokabi, you're like this. And sometimes I even wonder, sasa wewe you're saying Nyokabi is like this, and you only know what I let you see on social media, but you don't know me as a person. But you already have such a vast opinion of what you think about me that I'm so fascinated. I'm amazed at how telepathic you are. You can tell who Nyokabi is by just seeing a photo on Facebook. So you accept who you are, you love who you are, you embrace yourself from the inside, coming outside. And this, I want to repeat again, it's an everyday practice. Every day you practice to love something within yourself, but at least find 3 things you love from the inside and 3 things you love on the physical. And they can be as small as your eyebrows. They can be as small as the shape of your nose. They can be as small as your dental forum. They can be as small as your smile and your dimple. They can be as small as your nails. That thing that you truly want to embrace and love, then you love it, and then you protect it, and then you guard it and you ensure that it becomes your truth and nobody can take that truth away from you. Jasper, I don't know what you're thinking about that conversation.
Yes, that was very 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 eye opening. Nimejifunza vitu mingi sana hapo hivyo. I also try and do exactly that as an artist, as a comedian, as a celebrity, as an influencer. I try to keep it as real as possible. I try to, whatever I show people out there is like 95% is my actual life. That's how I live. And that's why I choose not to show some parts of my life because, again, the trolls. Kuna mtu aliniambia juzi ati sina kisogo. Ati hata kukinyesha sinyeshe wangu imugongo. Mtu aliniambia ukinyesha sinyeshe yangu imugongo juu sina kisogo. Sasa kisogo sinafikiria kukushinda ni nini sasa? Nikamwambia niko na personality. So yani kisogo yangu ni kama ilingolewa ikawekwa kwa nyandus ikiwa forehead. Yani watu it's okay. So I try to keep it as real as possible, for not just for the people that are viewing and watching my content, but also for myself. That's the only way you can be sane as an artist, as a celebrity. That's the only way unaweza tu ishi maisha yenye ni real kidogo. Kama hauna means, wewe ingia kwa matatu, mimi uingia kwa matatu. Unaingia, and then there's this thing that I've taught myself, atusisumbuane. Just because umeniona kwa TV, haimaanishi sasa conversation ikishaanza, habari Murume uko poa, mimi ni fan wako, thanks. Tunaweza piga selfie, haya tupige. Si hapo ni nini sasa? Sasa nimejifundisha kuambia watu wewe waacha. Wewe waacha maneno mingi. You move on swiftly. Wacha wabaki wakiongea. So it's as an artist, as a comedian, as an influencer, if you're trying to do this, try and understand that there are pressures that are going to come with all that. We are in a third world where you're not going to be rich just because you're famous, right? So at the end of the day, you can't avoid mingling with your fans. Nimesema mingling ama mingling. Iko na N. Gange kingongu. So you can't avoid that. And if you are trying to do what we are doing, understand that you are entering a very, very, very dangerous place. This is not just some simple thing that you wake up and start doing. Yes, content creating might be easy for you because you're creative, but maintaining the celebrity status is not easy because there are expectations. There's pressure that comes your way. In as much as you're giving people pressure, there's a lot that also comes your way. So it's always good to understand how to walk through it. I think we are good now. Because of time, guys, kindly please excuse me. Ndio nienda sasa nifanye ile ingine yetu kule inaitwa COVID stand-up improv and roast. And thank you guys for always supporting us, by the way. Kina Likuyani, asanteni sana, na kina Viki na kina Nyandus.
Of course, we're not going to let you go before the rest of the team says goodbye to you. Thank you for being with us. And yes, we understand you're quite out of time, but your contributions were very important to us and we appreciate. And for everybody that had Jasper here, and Najom Mefrai Sana, just put it in the comment section. We will be coming to them right after Noreen's perspective. Murume yo, see you later.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mbaki na hiyo kisogo nini utosi ya Nyandus. Ilikuwa inaanguka huku himbi nje. Thank you guys, thank you.
Okay, cool. Have a good one.
Wow. We've heard a lot from Ms. Nyokabi and Jasper. It's good to be real. Be yourself. Accept yourself first before other people will appreciate yourself first before someone else appreciates you, because it comes from the inside you. Huwezi sema, like, saa zingine mi ushangaa na watu, by the way. You are told, by the way, you are beautiful. Then you're like, kweli? Wacha kunidanganya. Haya, kweli, where did your self-esteem go to? See, you accept it. You're beautiful. Thank you. Hata ukuwa na kiburi sema, yeah, I know I'm very beautiful, Then I'll go back to our years when KBC TV station ndio ilikuwa mambo yote. during those days tulikuwa tuna watch, we used to watch wrestling, and do you know why tulikuwa tunaambiwa after that session, after wrestling tulikuwa tunaambiwa please do not try this at home. Why? Is it okay? Can we say it is like hawa watu wakifight wana fight real? Wewe unaweza chapo hivyo kusema ukweli. Nyanduko, mimi nikuweke tu hapo nikuwekelee mangumi, then uko tu hapo like you're not dying really. I know, please do not try this at home, like it's not real, you know. Kuna kitu wanatumia and you're not using that thing and you want to compare yourself to that level. Hauko you don't know what they're using, so usijeke place yenye uwezi, jikubali tu hapo penye uko, kale hapo penye uko, though we're not supposed to live beyond our limits, in our limits, but now we strive to go further. Back to this. Major, most people wanajiangalia as they compare themselves to others, especially teenagers or young adults. Wacha niende inside ya teenagers, adolescents. Hey, hapo unajua kuna kakitu kana pop out. Kuna venye sikai ka Nyanduko anakuanga msmooth. By the way, I have a very rough face but it's fine. Unajua nimefichwa na maficho ya Mungu, don't worry. So you realize there is something that you don't like about you on your face, and you decide wacha, let me chop it off. Sasa wewe unaanza kujikata na wembe because you want to be like someone else. Nani anaumia? Who is hurting? At the end of the day, it is you hurting. So like hii vitu ya pimples, hii vitu yenye inaonekana like it is just a season, you know. That is a season for you to embrace hiyo inaitwaje, adolescent stage, then it will reach a point utafika huko kwenye hizo mavitu hazionekani, you know. Then mapo yangu ni kubwa by nature, as you can see my nose. I have very big nose, okay, not too big, but yeah, your size. Now I want to have mapua kama ya madam Mrs. Kamau. Now you want to do something to it to make it smaller or to make it look like Mrs. Kamau, like for real. You know, Miss Kamau told us, just be you and accept yourself the way you are. Work with what you have at the moment. Si ati because mimi ni mdogo, now nataka kukuwa na supporting documents huku nyuma nikitembea dunia inatetemeka. Ai, wapi? Now you're going to hospitals, unatembea kila mahali unasema mimi nataka ile sindano ya kuongeza supporting documents zikuwe kama za nani. Utashinda hapo. Those things will kill you, and at the end of the day you're going to regret. So what I'm telling us tonight, just be yourself. Like acha story mingi, accept venye uko. Siku ile mwili itakubali kukuja, itakuja tu. Siku ile matairo itakubali kukatika, enda tizi, zitaenda. Like zitaenda. Ukianza tizi and eat health, like you have to work, like jaribu kufanya, usitafute shortcut, just go the long way, but at the end of the day you'll achieve what you want. Wacha hii story ya sindano ya kuongeza weight, utaumia. Back to you, Elias. You take us through the comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Noreen, for that lovely conversation, and the rest of the panelists. Let's just go to the comment section. You'll allow me to twist my eyes because I'm using the cue from Vicky. And we have Deno Nodens, who says, people's compliments should just come to add to what you already know, not to define who you are. And I think Mrs. Kamau agrees with that. Next. We have Shishwi James, who says, sure, you have fought that demon, and I know how it feels on that process of loving you for who you are. That's an awesome one. Next, please. We have Kipro Roda in Germany, I believe. She says, true, I love my forehead, and my body is you is you don't like it, kanyagia. I mean, I think she meant if you don't like it, kanyaga big. Translated like, hit the road, Jack. Okay, next. We have Latifa Wainaina, and she says, as time goes, we all learn how to appreciate ourselves. That is true to the fact. I will let Ms. Kamau to read the following, and of course, 3 or 4 of them. And then we'll have Nyanduko to get us through the next. And then after that, we go to what next? Mrs. Kamau.
She's saying, Winnie James, she's saying that I was once insecure of my big bulb-like eyes. Oh, wow. That's an interesting description. Mimi ni ambassador wa Philippines. Hizi ni zile bulb za Philips. Sorry. Forgive me. To an extent, my self-esteem nilikuwa naiona nikifungua viatu ikiwa chini sana, until everyone I met was attracted to my eyes, and I'm happy to say that today my eyes is the best part of my life that I love. I love that. That is amazing. That's a very interesting perspective. Yeah, ni ambassador wa Philips. Wow. I'm still processing that one. We have Paul's, and she's saying posting a photo without eyebrows, it's not happening. Well, but we don't have eyebrows. Mama, we need to be real. We don't have these eyebrows. Men always ask why we shave them and then we draw them again. Kadhombi Kenyua says that protecting my self-esteem too. Good girl. Keep protecting your self-esteem. Kipruno Roda says Victorian Katha. Toa wig. Ametoa. Victoria. But due to public demand that you
wait, I actually have removed it before. So let me just where Ellie, relax.
Yay.
Oh God.
And the wig is off. So rather I hope the wig is off and she's still although she's wearing a hat. We want to see without the hat.
No, they should come in. They should check the previous shows. There was no wig. Me and Nyanduko like this. Hey, like this. Very much.
Oh, Nyandus. Yes, and I'm seeing fitty parts. Hey, akizima jina mnaandikanga social media surely. Edwin, unasema we also need to talk about my forehead. Oh, welcome to the Forehead Association.
Yes, Fifi. Yes, we will talk about Eddie's forehead. Yes.
Welcome to the Forehead Association. Wanapenda madam hawana forehead, lakini sisi ndio tuko. Wanataka wenye sisi ndio tuko.
Some do, guys.
Yes, they have to deal with us. You see, it's at the back. It's a runway. It's a strip. Anyway, moving on. Next comment. Jasper Murume anasema, yo, tell me the truth. This young generation needs to hear from humble and true celebs. Thank you so much for that. Jasper was really good at telling the truth. I'm supposed to read the name first. David, what is order versus what is delivered? What is ordered versus what is delivered? I don't understand. What is ordered versus what is delivered?
Allow me to make you understand this. When you order something on Alibaba, wherever you call them, and then you ordered 6 feet TV inch, unaletewa toy inakaa hivi, and you're like, this is not what I saw. The description was well endowed. Iko na tutor hapa mbele, and behind kuna speakers za Omega, but when it arrives,
Nyandus alikuwa amekava hii kitu. Alikuwa amesema what you see on Instagram, don't blame us when you get the opposite. Just accept and live with it. It is what it is. It is what it is. So we have Majibu is saying it's definitely causing mental health issues. Yeah, this is a very important point. That it's definitely causing mental health issues in people who spend more than 3 hours a day on social media. I want to state that this is actually a study that has been done, and it has been confirmed that those teenagers and youths who spend more than 3 hours or 3 to 2 hours on social media are experiencing mental health issues. And those mental health issues is what we were talking about, the fiction and the reality. They're not able to distinguish the reality from the fiction or the picture that has been created by social media. Thank you so much, Majibu. That's a wonderful contribution. We appreciate that. So Edwin is saying heri huyu akona gari. Hey, kuna wenye ana gari, I said ilikuwa rento. Kuna wenye wana shoot video na V8 alafu jioni anapanda mat kwenda home. Very true. Very true. Very true. It's so serious, by the way. I think we need, I don't know whether we need to call a plead for the government to help our celebrities to actually make money out of the content they create. I don't know. So Sarah is saying, Sarah Roberts, hi. So you're saying we have a great role to play in teaching this young generation on how to accept who they are and not to be influenced by this social media. And that's what we are doing today. We are creating awareness on the side effects, the good things and the bad things of social media. So thank you so much, Sarah Roberts. Am I reading the next one or it's going back to Nyandus?
We are done with the comments for now.
Oh, thank you.
I think that's it for the comments for now. Everyone has gotten the wind of calling me Nyandus now. There's a new trend up in here. Okay,
You're stuck
Victoria.
I think this is a very interesting conversation to have with ladies, and I feel honored to be the only gentleman on board tonight. On the left, on the right, Juna Chini, I'm well covered. So now we're gonna go to the next level of this conversation. Even as we see the social media and the influences it have on young people about self-love, what are the effects? And in effects, we're talking about the extremity where people will go to depth to even actually cut their bodies and torture themselves just to be the perfect person they are. And you cannot escape from the mental health when you discuss about this. So Victoria, take it away.
Hello. I really do feel like we really touch into mental health issues a lot because our society has really, number one, ignored it, while, to be honest, it's very, very evident in so many social issues that we experience day by day. Now, switching gears a bit and going into the extent of people actually starting to cut themselves, you usually see that people cut themselves to find a distraction in terms of the social media standards of beauty, that a young lady who's beautiful should look like Natalie Tewa or like Kim Kardashian, to be honest. Yet you're out here, you're looking like some of us who have rolls and rolls on our bodies, and you don't appreciate yourself. Some people think that the easiest way to get away with this is actually cutting themselves so that the fat can come out, but that's not how it works. People cannot afford liposuction, they cannot go to the gym, but what they do, they start cutting themselves thinking, and this is what they think, and this is what life and the emotional distress that is going through them is telling them to do. That, you know what, maybe I can get it off in faster this way, maybe I can go through it this way, maybe if I cut just a little piece over here, I'm gonna be able to remove the fat, I'm gonna be able to remove the roll. They hold themselves, they cut themselves, they cut their thighs. There's some people who don't even know that having big thighs is actually nice. They really think that you have to have that gap between your thighs, that your thighs don't actually touch, to be honest. You have to, trust me, Ellie, it's crazy out here, the standards of beauty that are out here. People think that when your thighs are touching, it's completely wrong because you're fat, so they have to be apart. And it's really crazy. So people start cutting on their legs and their thighs because they do not feel comfortable with themselves. And this is crazy because this is a level of depression that is detrimental to you because, to be honest, there's so many people who have killed themselves in this way. You cut, and the moment you don't even know that you're cutting through a vein or an artery that is very essential for the fact that you're alive, all of a sudden your razor just goes in too deep and there you're gone. To be honest, while you're cutting this, you don't know that you're cutting to something that is very, very important for you, for your livelihood, and you cut through what is not meant to be cut through. And to be honest, a lot of others don't even do it accidentally. It saddens me that a lot of people go through a situation where they actually decide to end their life simply because there's so much pressure on social media. They feel that they're not beautiful enough. They feel that they're not good enough for life. They feel they're not good enough for society. And to be honest, in as much as we say that society should not influence us, we live in society. I have been part of the people who say that, you know what, society is not important. But to be honest, this is where we live in society. Everywhere we go is society. Our friends, our family, our teachers, our peers. Some people are out here stressing themselves about people who are going on vacation every weekend, flying to Paris. And then you start questioning yourself. You start really looking down on yourself. You think that you're 22 and you're 23, and because you're not flying out to Paris, to China, to what, you're not doing enough with your life. And that leads to you starting hating yourself, starting hating everything about your job. You're living a miserable life. You're moving up from your bed and waking up and you're constantly in the miserable level. You go to get loans. You're sinking in debts. You're sinking in debts because you want to keep up with what is on social media. And you realize that there are a lot of people who are living these lifestyles. I always say the grass is not always greener on the other side. That grass on the other side might be very, very fake. Take time in watering your own grass and make sure that it's being nurtured. And in this way, you'll be able to get to that level that you need to get to. We talked about the level of self-esteem that you need to be at before you start looking at other people. And comparison to other people will not get you anywhere. It only leads you into a black hole of self-hate. And self-love is something that a lot of us are lacking in this generation. If I want to wear a wig or if I want to take a vacation, it should be at my comfort, not because there's Nyanduko who is flying to Paris, not because Noreen came with nice hair that I have to put on my hair as well, not because Nyokabi's eyebrows are looking good so that I have to go now do a masterclass in doing all this. No, it's about who you are and about what you are. It starts from within. It starts from within. Do not get depressed. Depression is one of the things that is very, very evident in our generation because of social media. It's one of the leading causes of depression and anxiety in our generation because it's social media. It's social media, and it's so crazy to think about. Sometimes when we think about the fact that how we've evolved, depression and anxiety to some degree wasn't that much in the older generation, simply because there wasn't a lot of pressure. I'm not saying it didn't exist, it did exist. However, there wasn't that pressure. Today, it's very, very evident, and it's so sad that young people who haven't even established themselves in life, 15, 16-year-olds, are looking to find ways on how to be desired. You're 15, you're 16. You have no business in being desired, to be honest. It should not be there. Your business is to build yourself and build who you are so that you're content within yourself. Those are the effects of all this pressure that is coming out on social media. And how we tackle them is by raising awareness and telling people how to be able to view themselves on a different light and not through social media standards. If I am here today, I am showing you the reality. You just saw a photo of me. I am not all glitz and glam. I'm seated here, I have rolls on my tummy, and I'm proud. Let me tell you, I love it. I really love it. I absolutely, Ellie, you're love it. I love my rolls. I love my face. I love my non hair. I cut my hair to try something. I put it long. I do things because I want to do them and not because society tells me to do it. I put on makeup because I want to do it, and I'm not covering my face. I'm accentuating my beauty. There are people who do a whole different shade of makeup, not because they don't know how to, but people are believing that these are the things that are beauty standards. The solution to this: sit down and evaluate yourself. Take some breaks from social media sometime and build yourself from within. It takes time, but find a mentor. People are here. We're all here. We can be able to help you and guide you. Nyokabi is there. Joko is there. Noreen is there. I am here. Ellie is there. take time to talk to some of us and speak out, because it can really, really be stressful, but we understand. We resonate with this. And to be honest, this all this is out of my own desire. It's not out of anybody else's desire, and that's how it should be. When I post a picture, I will post a picture today without filters, tomorrow I'll filter to the other day, because I'm having fun with it. That is what social media is about. It's never that serious. I'm having fun with it. So do not let the pressure of social media get to you. Do not let it dictate how you live. Focus on who you are and let that shine from without. Because let me tell you something, there's nobody else. Filters can make us all have dog ears and dog mouths and beautiful parts. But the real you, there is nobody that is like you. And that's the power that you have. Nobody else is like you. Embrace you, love you, because you're unique, you're special, and that's it. That's just it.
Victoria, that is amazing. I love that you're saying that you're unique and you're special. And the way I like to look at my uniqueness and my specialness is that I see that my mother and my father, they each give me a piece of their own DNA. And then in giving me a piece of their own DNA, God also put his DNA in me. And because of those components, I feel I'm very unique, extra, you know? So I love that you have closed with that. And another thing, just to add on to what you're saying, Victoria, is that there's a lot of drug use among young people, among teenagers, among youths, and a lot of sexual exploitation. And you know, somebody might be thinking, at a guy, how is social media contributing to matters drugs? How is social media making me want to use drugs? Do you know there's a time that there was this thing with Lil Wayne? He's called Lil Wayne, the guy who was always singing with a glass in his hand. And I've seen one of our musicians has also taken the same trend. He's always singing with a tumbler, you know, with his hand. And a study was being done as to why teenagers in youth in that particular country were using that particular cocktail of drug that was within, because he posts on his social media and he says what's inside that tumbler. And what was inside that tumbler was some drugs to keep him awake and to keep him alert, and so that he could do what he was doing. And young people, because they thought it was cool and they related with him, they started taking the same drug, and it would make him drowsy. It would keep them awake. They would not sleep because they were constantly taking that drug. Have you noticed that even in WhatsApp groups, the thing that is hyped and promoted mostly is alcohol? You know, the use of marijuana. There is so much promotion of these vices, of using drugs and all kinds of drugs. And yes, marijuana is a drug. You know, if you're taking something that distorts your way of life or your functionality, it's classified as a drug. If it impairs your judgment, if it relaxes your muscles, that your muscles need to be relaxed, it is a drug. If you're taking painkillers so that you can feel your body is calm, it is a drug. So whatever thing that you're using to give you a certain high or a certain feeling, that is a drug. And social media is playing a very key role in introducing young people to drugs, people who are older, you know, even people like us who are more mature. We get a lot of pressure when you go somewhere and you're sitting somewhere and you're having a glass of water. Like today I went to a meeting and I ordered some tea, and everybody in the table there looked at me like, what's wrong with you? Are you a pastor or something? You know, they want to give me pressure to participate in the social drinking that's there. And I kept on telling them I don't drink. And I went on an outburst and I told them, hey, it's a choice that I don't take alcohol. It's not that I can't, it's not that I can't afford it, but it's a choice. So there's so much pressure to engage in drug abuse, in drug activities. There's too much information overload. Our celebrities are really misguiding us when it comes to drug abuse. So if you're wondering, Nyokabi, am I using drugs? Is taking a Piriton using drugs? Is taking a Tasker using drugs? Well, if it impairs your judgment, if it causes your mind to react in a certain way, you are using that drug. And you have a choice to make, and you can decide, and it's okay for you to decide, I don't want to be consuming drugs. Now, I want to talk about sexual exploitation. And you know, when we talk about sexual exploitation, the image that comes to people's mind is a girl who is being sexually exploited, but it's not true. Both genders are sexually exploited. How do you get sexually exploited through social media? You're following Nyokabi. Like we started at the beginning of this show, we started and we saw that somebody was calling and saying, would you give me the red shoe? Would you give me the blue jeans? Because somebody took a selfie and you thought, I also want to take a similar selfie and look a certain way. Girls in campuses, when you're dropped there with a V8 or you're dropped there by a Prado, for this person to take their time and drop you at the campus in their V8 or come and pick you on a Friday like today to take you out, what are you giving them in return? You're not their wife. You're not their daughter. What business do they have picking you? They're exploiting you sexually. And sexuality should be something that you value as a person. It should be something that defines you as a woman or as a man. I know somebody is thinking at, hey, Nyokabi, I want to be with that person. I'm enjoying what we are doing with this person. So how is he exploiting me? How is it an exploitation? Now, let me explain something to the ladies who are here and the gentlemen that are here. There are stages of relationships, okay? You start with the acquaintances, you get acquainted. You know, oh, I know Ellie. He knows Nyokabi. That's it. And probably he doesn't know my name. He just knows my face and knows the region where I live. That's an acquaintance. Okay? That's the person you meet at a club. You're dancing, you're singing, and then they see you, they smile at you, they wink at you. The higher they are, the more beautiful you are. And then from there, you jump from an acquaintance to an exclusive, intimate friend. You have skipped 4 levels of friendship. That is exploitation. Because even you yourself, psychologically and emotionally and mentally, you're not at that place with this person. You have not walked the journey that they have earned the right to know you as a woman in your nakedness. Your aunties as a boy child should not know you. You should not know your auntie's nakedness. So that is sexual exploitation. But if you go through the normal stages, right? You meet the person, you become acquainted. This person, you become general friends. Where you start knowing, oh, Nyokabi is called Nyokabi and she lives in Nairobi. You become general friends. You're aware that they are there. And then the relationship grows and you become close friends. Close friends, you start knowing, oh, Nyokabi is married to Kamau. They have been married to Kamau for a couple of years. Nyokabi is a relationship coach. You're beginning to become close to this person. You're learning more about them. Then you come from that stage. You move to the next stage, you become intimate friends. Now you interact with family levels. You start knowing, I have a brother, we are 4, we are 5 in our family. I have a brother, I have a sister, I have 3 children. I drive up. You become intimate. You start knowing me deeper. Then from there, we choose where we want the relationship to go. We can decide we want the relationship to remain there and it doesn't become exclusive and intimate beyond the intellectual intimacy and the other kinds of intimacy. We leave it at there. Then if you want to push the relationship a little bit further, now it becomes an exclusive friend. So if you haven't been on this journey with this person and yet you have skipped those stages and now you're at the exclusive friend is the person who sees me without clothes. That is exclusivity. It is a private affair. We don't do it in public. We find somewhere confined and somewhere private, and then we do our thing. That's the exclusivity. So if this person, you have not walked this journey with them, and you have not agreed with this person that I'm allowing you to know me in a way that nobody else knows me, because there's nothing beyond nakedness. I mean, ladies, there's nothing you can give a man beyond your nakedness. They can sit there and imagine how you look without your clothes. It's not the same when you take those clothes off. And that applies to those pictures that you post on social media with your feet apart. I mean, what's going on? This is supposed to be an exclusive affair. It's supposed to be a private affair. You're putting your photos of your breasts on social media. My friend, this is an exclusive affair. It is a private affair. So these men who are liking your photos and leaving comments over there, that is sexual exploitation. You're scratching an itch in them that you shouldn't be scratching, because they have not earned the right to be that close to you. And yes, and the right is this one. The right, they have to go the 9 yards. They have to go all the way, you know, honor you in front of your parents, take you before the church, and actually acknowledge that they want you and they want to be with you. So we have to be very careful with social media. And on that note of sexual exploitation, may I mention something? Africans, we are cultured. We are a cultured generation. And being a cultured people, being beyond that you are a cultured people, our bodies are beautiful. When an African woman passes and they're exposing their skin and they're exposing their beautiful legs and they're exposing their hands, there's a sexual aroma that comes from that. And it's so appealing even to us as women. You can look at a woman and you go like, wow, hey, I can see you're beautiful, because there is that sexuality that is within the complexion and the being of a woman, of an African woman. And I'm using the word African and not to be racial. When an African woman stands here with a bikini and a white woman stands here with a bikini, I can guarantee you the eyes will be focused on the African woman, on the black woman, because of the shaping of the body and the complexion and that sexual aroma that God has given us. So when you're a teenager, when you're in your youth, when you're young, when you're not married, when you're not in a committed relationship, you have no business sending your privates or your exclusive parts to just anybody just because they asked. You know, I always say, if somebody tells me at Nyokabi, send me a nude, you know, but strangely enough, I get those requests on Facebook. I don't know whether they don't go through my profile or what normally happens. They'll ask me, Nyokabi, would you please send me a nude? I always ask them, how did we get there? How did we get to that level that you feel we are close enough that I can reveal to you what I work so hard to clothe every morning I wake up? How did we get there? How much do we know each other that I can show you my nakedness? Isn't it amazing how private or how exclusive your sexuality as a woman is? Isn't it amazing how exclusive your sexuality as a man is? You know, and this defines you as a person, defines you as who you ought to be. It defines your nature, your mannerism, the respect that you have for yourself, your character, where you stand, your beliefs. It comes across as an uncultured or cultured. So for me, I feel this vice of sexual exploitation, for me, I think it really touches down my heart, because girls are there and they're not realizing that they are going through sexual abuse by those likes, by men who are older than you. You know, your father is there liking your boobs, or your grandfather is there liking your sitting surface area. Isn't that an exclusive thing? Isn't that something that we could hold so privately and so exclusively and so dear to us that we should keep it private? Please do not allow yourself to be that way. And the internet is very unforgiving. The cloud is very unforgiving. When you're older and you have managed to become a very senior person in government, some fool somewhere will see it and they'll go, guy, is it this Nyokabi? And then they'll post it right there. And you'll be saying, Aki Kamau, I was young, I was foolish. So let's protect ourselves from these things and watch over ourselves. Over to you, Ellie. Is it Ellie? Where is Ellie? I can't see Ellie.
Actually, to Noreen.
Defensively to what you ladies have to say, I will call it a ladies' show because I'm loving the education and the input you guys have to make. I know we are out of time, but I would like to just have a few follow-up. If Noreen, you want to add something about what Nyokabi has said as a rejoinder.
Thank you so much,
Noreen.
Kabi. Yes, I'm speaking. Thank you so much, Mrs. Kamau. I'll refer you to that because it's easier for me. You've come up with very important points that we need to put them down and just let them stick in our minds and know that, hey manze, kuna vitu zingine we are not supposed to do. Like, there are things that needs to wait their time and the right people to be shown. And looking at that, we are also looking at how we present ourselves. Like, mimi nafanya kazi ya mjengo, and I'm content with it. I'm happy to be there. You know, siwezi anza kujilinganisha kuishi maisha yangu na mtu mwenye, I don't know, how do I put this? Like, I'm earning a 5,000 salary per month. I want to compare myself to a person who is earning 100,000 per month. Someone is eating, okay, in the morning they have a very heavy breakfast. Wakona buffet, breakfast kuna buffet pia. So you choose bread. Do you want bread? Do you want mandazi? Do you want, like, you're choosing, there are sausages, there are every kind of thing that inaweza letwa kama breakfast on the table. So you, with your 5,000 shillings, you also want to spend such, like, such amount unaiweka kwa breakfast yako, lazima ifit huyo mtu. My dear, go slowly. Like, do you know how long it took that person to be where they are? It is a process. And now we have to accept that we are not yet there. But when the right time comes, or when our turn comes, tutafikia hapo. And who said that if we reach there, like, tufike hiyo kiwango ya 100,000, utakula kama huyo msee venye alikuwa anakula before? Maybe you'll be a bit higher than that, ama majukumu itakuwa mingi. So, like, I want people to understand that it is not always good to compare yourself to what you are not. Learn to live within your limits, because that is where you can afford. These people driving, our watu wana drive V8, like, you know, they are there, yes. Lakini unajua stress inawakula kweli? You know, you can be in a mansionette, lakini stress yako, like, stress yako iko juu sana than mimi, where I am. I live in a bed sitter and I'm comfortable with the bills that I'm paying. No one is calling me kuniambia kuna deal flani ilikuwa inafanya hivi, like, kuna gari flani ilikuwa inakuja, haiwezi kuja juu ya there is something that is happening, so hiyo gari haitakuja, na umeshalipa pesa yako, you've already invested. Mi nitapata na hiyo stress kweli? You just don't know what these people at their class, what they're going through right now. And you are there busy trying to be where they are. Please listen to yourself and just be you. Listen to yourself and understand where you are, and love yourself where you are, at the place you are, and know that you are headed somewhere, because your time is coming. Your time is coming. Acha kukimbilia place yenye haufai. Kila mtu anajua mahali penye kiatu yake inamfinya. So do not want to compare yourself to anyone. You are special and unique, as Nkatha said before. So do you mind to remain where you are? Like, just be there, accept it, and kubali to work harder to be somewhere else, because it is a process. Thank you so much. I'll get back to Nyanduko.
Okay, it's been a very nice learning session. I think we're out of time, so I'm going to say a very short statement. Stop seeking validation from anyone else. You know, you're your own competition. And the moment we all realize that we're not in competition, no one is in competition with you. I always say we're running different races. You know, the race that Mrs. Kamau is running is not what I'm running. So the moment we all get to the point where we know that there's a difference between me and Noreen, and accept that, and stop seeking validation. And self-love and self-confidence starts from me. You know, if I'm confident in myself, before you come and break that, you'd have really tried. But if I have a very fragile self-esteem, and I depend on, you know, who's next to me to tell me that you're dressed well today, that I love how you're looking today, it's just too much. You know, love yourself, have love within yourself. You know, and it is called looking in before you look out. So before I go out there and try to find validation and if your confidence is affected by how you post, what you do what makes you do what gives you peace of mind and what gives you that confidence that you need. Do not do it as a do it. Like I said, we are different people. Victoria said sometimes different levels, different devils. So everyone is on a different level. Yeah, everyone has their own demons they're battling. So before I come and before you come out strong and want to tell someone what they want to do with their life, just fix yours. Do what makes you happy. Be your own center of happiness before you start looking out to other people. Victoria, you've been quiet for a while.
Yeah, I just want to end with if you feel that social media is what is making you feel some type of way, just get out of it. By the way, it's not that serious. To be honest, live your life as you want it to be and move at your own speed. You're on your own lane, there's no traffic. Move at your own speed and let your car be comfortable. You're competing with somebody who's driving a V8 and you're driving a Subaru GC, what, and you're trying to make it move the way the Nini is moving, the V8 is smoothly moving, and you'll end up even spoiling your car. And that is our minds. Our minds are our cars. They are what drives us. While you're trying to compete with somebody, you're ending up messing up with your mental health simply because you're trying to compete. So move at your own pace, sorry, move at your own pace and accept you for who you are. Somebody said it's sad that we do not appreciate who God made us to be or living lives that are not us. How do you feel that you one day you're like this on this end, but when it comes to your private life, when you go to your bed, you know very well that you're putting up a front, you're packaging basically. So at the end of the day, stay true to who you are. And if you don't earn as them, don't spend like them. You'll end up pinching yourself for it. If you don't earn like them, don't spend like them. Back
Wow,
to you, Ellie.
Ricky just became a philosopher of finance. We couldn't have had a better discussion than that. Social media has changed and shaped the way we all relate to one another, including to ourselves and individualistic level. So tonight, as we part, we want to ask each and everyone that it is about you. Sometimes we tend to impress every other person, but the first person to impress is yourself. Remember, your health and your mental health squarely depends on the choices you make in terms of giving out to the environment, society, and of course, the social media. This is Art in Heart. I'm your host, Eli Likuyani, and tonight on the panelist, we had Mrs. Nyokabi, Kamau, all the way in Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you so much for making it to the cast. And we had Noreen Ambata, very interesting act that helped us keep pace in the discussion for the night. Thank you, Noreen, for your time and making it to the cast. How can I forget Victoria Nkata, Mrs. Philosopher of the Night? You take the crown for being the best quota, if I have to say that, of the night. And of course, thank you so much for helping us understand what it is when it comes matters social media and of course self-love. How can I forget the very lovely Nyanduko Nyabuto 254, looking cute tonight? Even though she's frozen on the screen, I think she's having some internet connectivity issues. But then again, it is what it is. I will not forget Jasper Murume, who was with us, and because of professional attachment, he had to leave earlier on, but his contributions were quite heavy. And for each and everybody that kept sending in their comments, sharing the link, and of course, making this live cast as interesting as it was. What more can I say? Asante Sana from Belgium. I wish you a very good night. And of course, once again, I introduce the panelists. Nyokabi Kamau, Noreen Ambata. We have, that is Victoria Nkata in Denmark. And of course, we had Nyanduko, my co-host, who was just left. Have a blessed evening, and let them mention their handles before we let them loose. We'll start with you, Mrs. Nyokabi.
My social media handles are Nyokabi GK Kamau. You'll find me on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. If you're interested in conversation about relationships, you can follow me there, Nyokabi GK Kamau, relationship coach. Thank you, Ellie.
I'm on Facebook as Noreen Ambata. Let's meet there and share your ideas with me. Anything you want us to discuss about, find me there. Thank you.
And I probably have the multiple social media platforms. Victoria underscore Katha on Instagram and Twitter, at Victoria and Katha on Facebook, on my Facebook profile, and at responding underscore to life Instagram, Twitter for our responding to life page, and on YouTube, Facebook at responding to life. See you there.
Okay, I'm sorry for a moment there. I disappeared. So my handles are Nyanduko254 on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, and any other platform that you want to find me on. It's been an amazing conversation, and thank you guys for being with us from the beginning to the end. Good night. God bless. Back to you, Vicky or Ellie.
Guy.